How's my how's my mic sound, Jay? Do I sound like a YouTuber? I guess the internet is slower when you're live streaming. I didn't know that. Echoing. Thanks, guys. I swear I have good internet. What's the docket? MBLY. This is kind of like how Roaring Kitty does it. He has no preparation at all. Okay, so Best Buy. Good request. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good one. Nice 5 waves subdivision. Good call out. What are you guys up to? Is anyone partying right now? Is anyone like at the club? I know it's late on the East Coast. Oh man. Blue Jay, that's all we got. Man. Did you guys see Apple this week? and Adobe. Yeah, so Best Buy looks real pretty. I think this big candle right here, start of a large wave 3. There we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Someone's eating KFC. KFC. Oh, man. Woo! We blew up. Oh, crap. All right. Hey, let me, wow, this is sweet. Someone's eating KFC right now. That's pretty cool. You know, I was looking at the chart of Jack in the Box, by the way. Jack in the Box. Very interesting. But yeah, you guys get the gist of what I'm thinking right now. So what do I do when a stock has this huge move and there's not really an invalidation? Well, for a small degree, wave 1, low beta stock, the real invalidation we can see is just too far. It's had this big week. One kind of little cheat is to take the fibs and connect it with the high of this little candle where the wick is. 89.0 and 69.29. So this 61.8% retracement of 76.82, a little further, 73.51, that's going to be the invalidation. But Best Buy looks really good. I think this is a great call out, and I think that Best Buy is going to go fill the right side of the base. And this has been a big sector. It's kind of like Target. It's there's a lot of these stocks, even in the same realm of Six Flags and Disney, the consumer side of the market, the retail side of the market. A lot of XLY hasn't caught up. Tesla hasn't caught up, and we're seeing that the right side of the base for some of these stocks. I'm thinking Starbucks is going to be an example. What we used to call brick and mortar retail, a lot of them tried to become e-commerce stocks, but that sector, a lot of stocks that are in these retail ETFs, Target being a good example with Best Buy, can be climbing the right side of the space. Large wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an ABC correction to save time. I'm not going to get all the way into the subdivision. Wave A, B, C. I think this is a great call out. what some quants will do, it's no one's really beating the trend seeker with Elliott Wave even. We see this big correction in. I think this trailing stop right here is going to ride Best Buy pretty damn far up the right side of this base. It's not the prettiest, but that was just right off the dome. ACHR, interesting call out. Haven't looked at this chart. Archer Aviation. I was looking at Joby Aviation this week too. Snap, yeah, he wants a leg. ACHR, Apple. Yeah, we need some KFC. Archer Aviation. Will United Airlines and Boeing look at this chart right here and talk about the objectivity and the subjectivity of Elliott Wave? Where to find these levels? Because I'll give you a hint. I already know without looking at the chart, the best levels are going to come by taking these extensions. A, B, C. This high, 7.49. This low is 4.39. And we've got 7.01 as the high. So this is what I label the A. I think that this is another one. Best Buy, there was a little too much room. This one's the opposite problem. It's almost too perfectly timed. Jay gave the momentum trade with Best Buy. This is really where this was a really nice bottom call. I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes when the fibs are just too tight like this, it's because someone's just right at the bottom. I think this is a really interesting call out. Right there, the 127.2%, we're seeing these wicks form, these dojis, all these indecision candles, as the Japanese would call it. So I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Wave 1, wave A, B, C, wave 2, wave B. Right between. I feel like this guy's doing Elliott Wave because that's really the only type. Now let's just look at this trend seeker real quick, and I'm just going to show you guys. This weekly trend seeker is probably going to turn around and give that trailing stop for the bulk of this wave 3. Maybe a little bit more time going by, but I think it's a really helpful tool. 3.08, we're right there. Man, The other way to get these downside stop levels is to take the fib retracements of wave one, the 78.6% fib looks like it'll be the best 7.49 and 1.62. So I like 2.88 to invalidate, and I'm looking for wave 3, wave C to begin for ACHR, IWM, DraftKings, Starbucks, IWM. Lots of IWM. MobileEye. Someone asked for MobileEye too. Jay asked for MobileEye. You guys notice I call them by their ticker name. I think that for some reason I think that's a good habit to just read the ticker like it's one word. I had a football coach, back when I was getting CTE, like Antonio Brown, who he would say, if you can walk through the hallways of high school, and when you see, cute girls coming down the other way, or hot for teacher or whatever, or just anyone, any group of people coming down the other way, and you weren't thinking about linebackers or safeties or offensive linemen coming to block you, he was saying, you're not really going to make it very far in football. And I think for a certain way in investing, that's kind of true too, where someone has to, really be seeing these tickers in the media and in real life, and they've got to think almost like I see like a ticker's name just in the media. I open up the Apple stocks, I type that in. Big headline, and it just happens to be a ticker. Oh yeah, that's going in. I know that's a little woo-woo. I figured out what topics I'm not allowed to talk about. MobileEye. They don't want me to tell you about MobileEye. That's a forbidden topic. You requested some Illuminati sauce. All right, let's talk about IWM. This is such an important ticker. I'm gonna play I've got to go around the gauntlet. This is a really important ticker. I mean, IWM, come on now. The Royce Value Trust is an alpha play on IWM. I believe on all of the total return calculators for every time frame, I believe this is a fact, RVT beats the Russell. Past performance does not indicate future results. Now, looking at RVT, this is my preferred way to long the Russell. There's no other way to say it. Let's look at this subdivision. I think that RVT, probably the Russell does this too, but I think this is just really clean levels. This is a closed-end fund. There's a chance this can be trading at a premium or a discount to NAV. If I had to guess right now, the answer is that this is trading at a discount. Obviously, I can look that up. I'm going to keep bar chart open for the stream. This is the Russell with a nice dividend. What I'm thinking about is pairing RVT with IWMY, and I already own RYLD, the Russell Covered Call ETF. Now, BlackRock recently, IWMW, they've released what I believe is going to be an alpha play on RYLD because it sells the covered calls for the Russell, but 2% out of the money. So I'm considering pairing IWMY, which I already own, with the Royce Value Trust. And that's always going to have the backing of the Russell and the upside of the Russell, as well as more dividends than the Russell because it's a closed-end fund. It's using leverage and whatnot. Let's look at this RSI. Wave 1, wave 2, large wave 3, highest high on the weekly RSI, shallow wave 4, and a wave 5 that ends with momentum divergence. Wave 5 ends with momentum divergence. So for the downside levels, most likely a small wave 1 forms from this low, and there's a wave 2. This high is 15.24. So the widest invalidation is a little too wide, 11.85. Really, it's not that far from what I think is the Goldilocks level for RVT, which is 12.58. And I'm looking for this to be a wave 1 and a wave 2. And that the Russell and RVT are going to round out wave 1, wave A, wave 2, wave B, wave 3, wave C. I think there's a lot of evidence. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 5. And so that's one reason I'm looking at IWMY. Let's see some of these. We're going to get a leg. Let's see. What up, cuz? Yeah, Adobe, that was a cool one. MBLY. I haven't looked at this chart. It's an interesting, I don't usually do short-term counts, but this 1 month time frame is interesting. It's just clean. I don't usually do this, but it's a live stream. I thought I might spoil you guys, have some fun. You know, it's Friday. Let's be a little naughty. 25, perfect. 25.01, a little tight. And let's just be clear. I think the cleanest count is from this low right here, this short-term count, 25.01. A lot of people don't like hearing this, but this low, not too far away, 23.49, would invalidate a bigger count. I think you guys just know what my kind of setup is, and you guys know what to ask. This has to be it. Like I promise, like if you guys gave me like some crap, I would be like, yeah, that's it. I think you guys just know what I like. From this low, it's not the prettiest, but it does satisfy all the rules. Wave one, so this larger degree, wave three, wave C. I'm going to give the rough estimate of 35 to 38. Now, what could happen and probably will happen should this play out? It goes a little bit above 38. This wave five length, the length of wave one, place the wave four low. So let's look at this short-term count real quick. I think this is fun. 1 month time frame to subdivide this wave one and wave two from this low. It's pretty clean. Even in the madness of the short-term markets. You know what? I just realized that guy who talked about KFC. I think he's onto something. I know you guys. Yum China. Yum owns KFC, right? That food sector isn't bad. Hey, if you're at KFC right now, do me a favor. You need to start hoarding KFC. I know we talk about hoarding silver. You need to start hoarding KFC. All right. 25.01. Let's look at is going to invalidate before that larger count. But seriously, let's look at Yum. Yum owns KFC, right? Y'all think I'm playing? Now, SE. Ooh. IWM target. Okay, okay. Yeah, the IWM target. Okay, so yeah, let me get that IWM target. I know you guys don't like when I do core. Okay, that was a pretty fair correlation. I'll give you the IWM target. RVT. You guys don't like alpha? Come on now. No, you guys like liquidity. You guys get extra points. Okay, illiquidity can be good in two ways. Closed-end funds, buying the fund at a discount. I love it. Worst thing the broker can do is reject the order. Now, some brokers, if you're not careful, have that order going in aftermarket. They'll send you a fee for that. But illiquidity in the options market can also be very useful. Okay, so what is the target? This is going to just remember everything that I said about RVT. There was very thorough analysis for that. And I should probably just do it again, and I probably will. Just to answer the question right off the bat. If I'm perfectly right and I hit this out of the park, IWM, that equal legs target, is about just above 300. We're a little far away from that. About 30%, 33%. So looking at this low, though, it's just like RVT. And really, we've seen this across a lot of value. I predicted a lot of industrials. Shout out to the people who look at those boring value stocks, because if you're paying attention, those boring value stocks were the exact same chart as IWM. Yes, all of the stocks with sex appeal in IWM are growth and tech, and a lot of them are still down there. But the value side of IWM has an identical chart to this. A lot of the large cap industrials that I talked about. XLI chart looks identical to this. I believe those were leading indicators. And so I think it's evidence that IWM, RVT, they're going to fill out the right side of this base. Now, I think it's good evidence, but Elliott Wave evidence is kind of like tarot cards to a lot of people. And so this is just one theme, one reason I wanted to do this video. I think a lot of the people watching this and clicking on this, they recognize greatness. That's great. It's easy to recognize greatness when we are 2 years into a VIX crash. And we're into the stock pickers market phase. But I'm just going to tell you guys, there is going to be a time later this summer, going into the election maybe, where the VIX is up a lot and it's winning time. It's decision time. Let's consider a possible scenario. SPY overshoots 560, has a correction to 530 again, and then goes to 600. That correction from 560 to 530 is going to be, a lot of people are going to be saying that 560 was the top. And I'm happy to just have like 100, 150 people watching this on YouTube, seeing the best, analysis in the world. And it really makes no difference, but some of you guys are a little too, not the people watching this live, some of you guys are a little too emotional. You really just aren't cool, not like cool, but like unreasonably. Like, I should be able to talk about Donald Trump being part of the deep state and not like, boom. If I say that, like that's like 10 followers down, 10 subs down. And to be honest, that information right there, that innocent little statement, it gives a lot of really good analysis. And so I'm actually going to give a little evidence for that. I'm going to give this IWM target. But I'm going to give you guys a stock. I'm going to give you guys a stock that some of this more interesting knowledge is really important for. Let's look at, I'm looking for IWM to go to the low 300s. Using this low of 161.67, and this high of 211.88, the 61.8% retracement is 180. That's the Goldilocks downside level. I think that's the ideal level right now, is 180. The 78.6% fib, a little wider, is 172. I think that's too wide. But I'm looking for IWM to begin wave 3 of wave 3 to 309. Now let's just look at a stock real quick. United States Steel Corp was on the strangle screen. Everyone just dipped. NFTs, KFCs. All right, we're still talking about tickers. Okay, I didn't get the Trump levers. Okay, if United States Steel isn't on the screen, you guys get off the hook. All right, it looks like you guys are going to get off the hook. United States Steel was all over the screen. I'll probably just post about it. Probably. It's going to make a new high. USX Steel. Okay, this is kind of crazy. Did you know my best friend from college? My best friend from college, his dad is super, super close. This is crazy. No, this is really crazy. Listen to this just for a second. No way, crap. I thought that was KFC for a second. Sorry. Starbucks. Someone asked about Starbucks. Teladoc. All right, Teladoc looks like it was a miss so far. My best friend from college, his dad is super, super, super close with Brian Steele, who is Young Thug, the rapper's lawyer. And so when Brian Steele was in the news this week, he actually went to jail because he had information about his client, some source, and he refused to give it up. So Brian Steele went to jail, and so he was trending because he's Young Thug's lawyer. Isn't this nuts? My best friend from college, that texts Brian Steele like while he's in prison, and Brian Steele responds. No, I'm not even playing. Isn't that nuts? I have pictures of what Brian Steele. Is anyone hearing this? Yeah, I have pictures of like Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, like texting from after he got arrested. He was trending this week. Anyway, that's how I know U.S. Steel is going to make a new high. That in Elliott Wave. Now, someone asked for now. You guys are like, yeah, puppy trades. Let's see some Elliott Wave. All right, I'll take my. So saw that person call me Skizzer. That was kind of mean. Like, really? You guys follow me. I'm predicting the future. I'm just drawing large caps. That kind of mean. Someone also was just like, GameStop only went to 65. It didn't go all the way to 70. Like, okay, it went from 22 to 65 in like 5 days. Okay? The financial media told you a completely different reason for it exploding than me. At a certain point, y'all got to remember I'm pretty. No, NFTs? Rota? Man. ServiceNow, Rota, and NFTs. What are the NFT tickers? Okay, ServiceNow. Ooh. Okay. ServiceNow, this long-term count is pretty clean. The medium-term count is a different story. So the big Elliott wave evidence with ServiceNow is that it's done 5-3-5. 5 waves up, 3 waves back, 5 waves up, and it is incomplete. So that's a big deal. Now, what would be very useful right now if and you guys can go advocate for this. I think one thing that would make like puppy trades great, I could tell you guys like, hey, ask YieldMax to make an XBI synthetic covered call ETF. And y'all just be like, yo, make that. And they will. I'm thinking they will. And then boom, like I'm rich as hell. YieldMax made that GDXY. That's so interesting. Anyway, yeah, ServiceNow 5-3-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the RSI. 1, 2, wave 3. Highest high on the monthly RSI. Wave 4, wave 5 ends with Momo. ABC. So this is 5-3-5. This is an incomplete bullish sequence. The ultimate target is 1023. Now, if YieldMax had a synthetic covered call ETF on ServiceNow, probably has high implied volatility. In the 700s, very high decay on those out of the money options that are being sold. And I think that this would go trudge up to the thousands. Now, let's try to look at this weekly chart. I think that the weekly chart looks like this. Look at the RSI. 1, 2, and I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves of a large wave 3. Look at this weekly RSI, really kind of showing that, making that highest, this is the wave 3 high. I'm pretty confident of that. So this is another nice piece of Elliott wave evidence that it also has, not only that's incomplete till just above 1,000, but if this is a wave 3 high, this is A, B, C from that high, right at the 161.8% extension. There we go. Okay. This is the ABC subdivision. A, B, C. This high is 784.33. This high is 815.32. Boom. And this high is 784.33. This low is 683.88. So the Goldilocks invalidation is 617.73. I think that's the best. Yeah, 617.73. I think this is A, B, C. This is a wave 5. So in Elliott wave, wave 5 is either the length of wave 1 or it's the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. Remember that large degree target was just above 1,000. Before looking, I swear my eyes are closed. I think this is going to be just below 1,000 without even looking. Boom. Sorry, I meant to say just above 1,000. I swear. That same target is what we get. I think that's the magic number. 1, 2, wave 3, ABC wave 4. I'm looking for above 617.73. A wave 5, that's the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. That gives a target of 1,043. Voila. It's probably just another coincidence that's right around that equal legs target I talked about of 1,023. Riot and Rota. Looks like that was just Riot. SE, Riot. I thought Rota was going to be a cool growth stock. That's a bummer. Now this one. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. I would summon demons to have Yield Max make an ETF of this. Snowflake is going to have to do. Now, this is where I've got to say, remember, There are times in markets, maybe Datadog, CrowdStrike, Palantir, Fastly, SE. There may be future Microsofts and Googles among us. And CrowdStrike looks like the first young software ARC stock that's really going to try to take that title. I know it's guru cliche to say these aren't going to be easy, but this is reminding me of Palantir. It's reminding me of a lot of the software stocks I talked about in my recent, a lot of the small cap software sector, just genuinely. PayPal, Square Cash, Shopify, ARC itself. Risk and reward are really kind of the same side. They're two sides of one coin. What is there are going to be stocks that have future Microsoft and future Google potential. What's that going to imply? Holding for years. It's going to imply, in many cases, when people are not going to be selling options against their holdings, it implies really just holding a lot of unrealized gains, even in the best case scenarios. And the best traders are going to know how to take profits along the way. And still maintain that original principal exposure. But this looks like one of the one of the ARC stocks, one of the ARC software stocks in a large group that makes this 3 to 5 year high. So far, we've seen basically all of large cap software break the 2021 high. And I predicted all of them. And that wasn't an easy sector. There's only been one small cap software stock to go break the 2021 high, and I believe that's CrowdStrike. Palantir, I think, is going to try to be next. I think Datadog is showing signs. But by and large, and I talked about ARC recently, it's just still a lot of stocks down here. And Okta, it's just the whole group. It's sector specific. That this 2021 high is the minimum wave 3, wave C target. Right now, I say all that to tell you, looking at SE Limited, I don't see a useful downside in validation. Right now, looking from this low, 1, 2, wave 3, highest high on the RSI daily, shallow wave 4 and wave 5 higher. I'm going to pull out a little voodoo for the live stream. From this low on the daily, I believe this is a small degree wave 1 and a small degree wave 2. The reason that I think that is actually because SE doesn't make a new high. If this is wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, the highest RSI reading should be within wave 3. It's not. This new high with momentum divergence The other way they say is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so bulls should be looking for that to end a large wave 1, wave A. Look for a wave 2, wave B correction before wave 3, wave C. Now, that wouldn't be a pretty hold, but it would still imply that eventually, after a correction, new highs get made. That's not my preferred count. I do think this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. From this low, I think the only setup, taking this wave 1 high, 74.33, and this low of 51.70. '60 is a little wide. With the high beta and the upside, I'll say it's probably the Goldilocks level. Maybe a little better, very aggressive, is that this low, 65.73 to 63, is the invalidation. And bulls are looking for wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And the only way is to say that this daily wave 2 is a short wave 2 within a weekly wave 3 above 63 to 65. The wave 3 minimum target is 88 before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. Per Elliott wave theory, that would complete this large degree. Wave 3, we see a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. The best target I can give for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily sequence to end that big blue wave 3 is roughly 88 to 96 on the daily. Not a good day for crypto. Just one. My Ethereum post and my most recent work on Bitcoin in the weekly time frame, I posted about Mara 2 recently. It's probably a broken record to say that Mara has been on the strangle screen. I own BTBT Leaps and going through all my crypto exposure. I will say my favorite way to play crypto really is not even close are all these new ETFs that sell options on these super volatile crypto plays like MicroStrategy and Coinbase, and now two that sell them on Bitcoin. This is what I'm looking for Riot. I think the count's pretty clear. This high is 20.65. This low is 3.25. We haven't reached the 100% extension yet. Should bulls wait for it? This might be a little hard to see. Just to be honest, this wick right here of 7.80 is the only responsible invalidation. So that can be getting out of the way. I'll give you guys the count and we'll call it a stream. Ooh. There we go. Guys, I've had a blast. I've never tried this before. I know it wasn't too professional, but I'm having a blast. I really think this could be a regular Friday thing. We're going to have times when the market is going crazy, though. So I really appreciate you guys being here. You know, I worry about the complacency. I hate to say it. Bullish complacent. No, it's not about, forget about this market bull, market bear. The complacency is setting in not before a major top, but maybe 3 months before a major top. Why does that matter? I don't know. I don't know. I know. I know why that matters. I think this low is 7.80. That's the invalidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Large wave 1, wave A, B, C. Wave 2, wave B. I'm looking for wave 3, wave C to begin. And we're going to see if Mara and Riot begin. Let's look at Baba. I really appreciate, all the compliments, you guys. I don't want to be like a dictator or whatever, but this one, by the way, not my best work. I bought Alibaba at 165 for exposure, and then after that, I bought a lot of Clip, the covered call ETF, and I've collected crazy dividends from Clip. So I'll tell you guys right now, honestly, my chart of KWeb is my preferred way. It's the cleanest version of this count. It's my preferred view of Chinese internet. And it really is a holistic sector. I've collected massive dividends from Clip. My favorite way to play China is blending KLIP with KWeb or KLIP with the Invesco. It's called the Chinese. It's called the Chinese Dragon ETF. I swear that's what it's called. The Invesco Chinese Dragon ETF. Pairing Clip with one of those I'm very interested in. This invalidation of 66.63 is best. The wide weekly 58.01 for what this could be. Probably worth mentioning too. I hate to say it, but this is another one where I look at some of these ARC stocks, like the eCash stocks, the biotech stocks, and I think, wait a minute, just like silver, weren't a lot of these crazy rallies because of what we would call a black swan event? The same kind of black swan event that caused TLT to hit all-time highs. Oh, look, TLT is ripping right now. And I understand market cycles can be different. You have to understand from my perspective, if we go into this utopia phase where the market just trudges higher till 700, 800, there's wave 4 corrections and all this stuff, and we have, and I'm not saying that the market trudging higher means we're in utopia, but I'm saying, like, if everything goes well, and that's why growth stocks and bonds and debt holdings and all that real estate fill out the right side of the base and rally, great, awesome. You know, I just feel like some of the time there's a little bit of chastisement and a little bit of a butthurtness, just to put it frankly, when I mention the possibility maybe these bonds, maybe these growth stocks, maybe these e-cash stocks, maybe these biotech stocks, maybe these cybersecurity stocks, maybe in the context of World War III, clean energy and oil stocks, that their rallies, they might not be because of peaches and cream. They might not just be because of rate cuts. Verizon, AT&T, have you noticed that they all rally when there's blackouts?